have been dropping some fucking fire lately. Some fire topics that I've been really curious about. So I'm ready to get like into this shit because it might take a while, and I'm actually here for it. Cause I used to watch I'm Preach like all the time, like just hours, just video after video, just watch and watch and watch, and now I'm ready to do that shit all over again. But this topic seems particularly interesting. Cricket cop meets a man whom he falsely imprisoned, and it's disgusting. I don't know how that could be disgusting, but I am so curious.
Actually, this kind of relates to the topic we did yesterday. This one's just for you.
This one's for me.
For show.
An amazing story of forgiveness and redemption heard last night in Belding. A great message for this Easter holiday weekend. We were there as a man who spent 4 years in prison for a crime he did not commit, discussed his friendship with the corrupt policeman who put him there.
Just for you, bro. Come back. Let's see some love and forgiveness.
Wow, you really got me fucked up. You did your best work today.
All right.
You woke up this morning, you said, hey, come film. I got something for you. This is what you shot.
Pause. Dude,
That is kind of a pause.
Crazy.
I ain't gonna hold
All I
you.
wanted on that day was to get another conviction.
Andrew Collins says his corruption began not long after he joined the Benton Harbor Police Department in 2003. Fresh out of the academy, he was the hotshot, known for putting scores of people away for drugs. At first, it was his ego that drove him to plant evidence and lie. Later, it was the money he was
Planted
taking off
evidence.
suspects and the $10,000 he admitted embezzling from the city.
It's a really easy kick.
What's wrong?
I'm sorry, dog.
I thought it was really cool police behavior when Denzel did it. King Kong ain't got nothing on me. Pretty good, right? I'm putting cases on all you motherfuckers.
You'll be rotting in Pelican
That's a
Bay
great
when
movie.
I'm through with you.
That was good. That's better than me. I'll give you that. That was pretty good. Training Day was a classic.
Training Day is a
I
classic.
It
love
is.
watching Denzel play the character of Denzel in every movie.
My God.
Literally, Denzel's always
He's
Denzel
always
plays
put-
the
yeah.
same actor in every movie.
Absolutely.
He just plays Denzel Washington, starring Denzel Washington.
Yes, but only Denzel can do Denzel. So, ease off Denzel.
That's facts. That's facts. But it is the same person in every movie. You
That's
start
fair.
to know it's like,
Oh my God.
is that wrong to say? I don't think Denzel can act. Is that inappropriate?
There it is.
No.
You need to shut the fuck up right now.
Just say. Just say it. That's my hot take today. I enjoy watching his movies. I don't think he can act.
I disagree.
Yeah, tell me. Is he not the same person in every movie?
That's not what acting means.
Okay.
It's doing what you're doing. It's not him. It's clearly not him. Alonzo is not Denzel. He's not. It's not Denzel. He doesn't do that. But
The most perfect roles for people are those where like the character fits their personality or how they already are. Right? Like the best role for someone is one who can accentuate who they already are, right? Obviously it's still fictional to a degree, but having Denzel play Lorenzo, whoever they said, was probably like a perfect fit. Like having Jamie Foxx do Django. That was pretty perfect casting.
he doesn't do that. He's not a gangbanger. But when he was
But it's
playing
Jamie Foxx
Alonzo,
being Jamie Foxx.
he was believable. I believed him when he did that shit. But I know Denzel doesn't.
Was that his
do it.
name? I thought his name in the movie was Denzel. I'm just saying. Here's my thing. I think as an actor, this is a sidebar.
Who?
As an actor, you should be able to play other people.
Okay,
If
but
you can only play one person, to me that's not acting.
we don't know that.
What do you mean?
That's a role that. Hey,
Well, if you can only play one person, that's still acting because you're still playing that one person, right? It's not necessarily a range of acting, but it's still acting. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like Lala's a character. I play Lala, but Lala is also me. You know what I'm saying? That's one
I
character,
got this
but
movie
still
right
me.
here. We need a Denzel.
It's still acting.
So they got him.
All right, listen.
a
You know
degree.
what? Let us know what you guys think in your comments.
I don't think he's at the point where he has auditions.
You must be at that stage where it's like you're not reading scripts and auditioning, right?
It's been about 40 years for that, love.
He's at the
40
point where,
years.
I need a Denzel type character.
Hey, listen. Agree to disagree.
while the boys are being boys and traveling
That's
together,
crazy.
I rather do gay stuff with my girl. That's my business. And while I'm abroad and doing gay stuff with my girl, I cannot enjoy the program that I'm watching back home because you are in the country that you're in. They say that the content that you are trying to access is not available in your country. Blah blah blah. And I think that's so weak. It's Walter. So what I suggest to you is the Surfshark VPN. That's the wonderful thing.
Why
It
is
saves me
that
when I'm
so
on the trip and I want to enjoy
funny?
my program. I want to be able to watch certain things. You know what I'm talking about. So I'm able to change the location of where my computer is, so it is in another country. Not only watch the programs that I cannot watch where I'm at, or I can save on the plane fares that I'm trying to get. I'm trying to access that. By changing the location of where you are, you can have additional discounts on your plane fares. That's how I use it. I use the Surfshark to save money and to be able to enjoy my programs. And while you're abroad doing gay stuff with your wife, you're going to be able to serve the internet with an encryption of your data while it's out there. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to have access to your data, and you don't want that. And I would suggest you to do it. So you can click on the link below or go on surfshark.com/AbbaandPreach. Promo code ABAANDPREACH.
He changed shirts like 3 times.
Have 4 months extra. 4 months extra on top of your subscription that you do not have to pay, and that's great. That's thanks to us and thanks to them. You know what I mean? You watch this, you click there, and then everybody's happy. You get to watch your programs, you get to save on your plane fares, and you're going to be able to have 4 months for free. So go right now on surfshark.com/AbbaandPreach and enjoy that 4 months extra of that wonderful service of Surfshark. Boom.
It's really easy to convince yourself
That was the most entertaining ad I've ever seen in my life.
what you're doing has purpose. Even if it's wrong, it has purpose. And I was completely convinced in that place that it was okay for me to do what I had been doing.
It all came crashing down in 2008 when he was caught, and some 50 cases had to be dismissed by the Berrien County Prosecutor's
Damn,
Office.
50 cases?
If it wouldn't have ended this way with me getting caught, I don't know how it would have ended.
One of those dismissed cases was against Jameel McGee, who was convicted of dealing drugs and sentenced to 10 years in prison, thanks to the cocaine planted on him by Collins and the officer's testimony at trial.
I imagine during this time you thought about, what if I met that cop who did this?
Planted cocaine and got 10 years.
Yeah, that was a goal back then, to find him and hurt him, just the way I was hurting. That was my angle.
Collins went to federal prison for 18 months in 2009. At the same time, McGee was released after serving 4. The men say it was...
McGee is the white guy? He only got 4 years. 4 years? I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the minimum is or maximum even is for something like that. I probably should know that. But he only got 18 months. I mean, still, time is time. It's still on your record and shit. And still, he still could have got hurt the whole thing. But it's still crazy. Got served
more
10
than
years.
coincidence that led them to meet again in 2011. This time at a cafe run by a religious organization. By then, both men had embraced Christianity. Collins asked McGee for forgiveness, and McGee gave it.
Oh, wow.
It was pretty much for me. I needed to do that because what it was doing to me, what it was making me become.
Of course.
I mean, that sounds like
Just
something I said
perpetuating a
recently,
cycle of hatred.
Yeah, I'm not saying that you're not right. You're all right. And all those people that we're talking about, I'm saying they're bigger than me. That's all I said. You are right in what you're saying. It is true what you're saying. It's just that.
Yeah. I think it's hard even for me to imagine myself in that scenario. But the reason why I can't understand is because I just didn't go through what they went through. And I can't really imagine what that's like. Can you?
No.
No.
Because none of us have ever been locked in a box for years on end with nothing but our thoughts. So that's what I'm saying. Like, again, I'm not saying I love what they're saying. I'm just saying I can't deny the fact that I've just heard so many of these people who were falsely accused come out and have this air of forgiveness I'll never regret. So to me, that means that there's something about their consistent experiences that I just can't fathom yet. And, there's something to be said about that. These guys went through something that's incredibly difficult. I saw some cases where motherfuckers spent more than 28 to 40 years.
Yep.
And they come out, and I'm expecting anger and guns blazing. And they're like, no, you let go of that shit early. Because you can't survive in there with that emotion all the time.
It's also, that's the power of God. A lot of people turn to Christianity and other religions when they're in jail. And it's a real life turner. I think Michael Francis, first time he went to jail, he turned to Christianity and it turned his entire life around.
And then it's just started to sit with me, and I was like,
I'm not even. It's just that when I come out, I really want to do like switch your ass in there.
What you mean?
Go see.
Oh, you want the other person to take a swing?
Go see what I live. Go. Just a day. Just a fucking day. At least live. Because for me for me to forgive you, you have to understand what the fuck you did and what the fuck I've been through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And saying sorry is not enough. At least that cop went to jail. The other motherfuckers, nah. You need to go spend a day. Go spend a day with who I was with. Go eat what the fuck I ate. At least a day. For me to be able to give you forgiveness, you have to understand the ramification of what the fuck you did.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to live it. And even if you go one day, you'll never feel my fucking pain.
Facts.
So you go in there, you walk your ass in there, spend a day, a week.
I'll say it. You a better actor than Denzel.
I knew that's what he was doing with the fucking letterboxing.
Did you think
I knew what the fuck he was doing.
You know what? That was actually not acting. That was not acting.
You didn't feel like
go
acting,
spend
no.
a day. I'm really serious about that shit.
I guess
That shit. Ugh. I gotta talk to someone about that shit because I don't even know why that shit hurt me so much.
Yeah.
But no, go. If I go out, yes, cool. But please forgive me. Yeah. Rah shit. Go inside. Yeah. Go see. Go catch the smell. Go shit in that toilet. Go eat.
Because it's like, I think what Preach is saying is like, how can you really be sorry if you don't understand? You can feel bad about it, but you don't understand. And for Priest to forgive somebody, he needs to believe that they understand. And I feel the same way. I completely feel him on that shit. Because some motherfuckers, you can tell exactly what the problem is, but they will not listen. They will tell you, like, they just don't fucking get it, and they still want you to do your forgiveness or like act like nothing's wrong. It's like, no, something's wrong. You just don't fucking get it.
Eat that food. Go talk to them screws. Go see who I was with. I want you to feel that. Just a day. And maybe you can fend them the amount of time that I was inside. Maybe.
I'm sure they find that amusing.
And then eventually you do that shit, then I'm gonna be able to be like, okay, you saw that.
Yeah.
That was one day.
Yeah.
Cool. Now you know.
Yeah.
Now I forgive you.
See, the thing that I think is all
you have to prove you're actually regretful.
Because that's the only way they can make it. That, I think, is the key point to it, right? You're thinking about forgiveness about the other person, but they're thinking about it from themselves. Even me watching you like that, I don't think you can hold on to that emotion for 10, 12 years in a box. I don't think you could. Just with your thoughts and that anger, I know. I've been wronged by somebody. It is very difficult for me to sit and dwell that. I either have to put it out of my mind or I have to let that shit go. Because you know, just even thinking about it, I watch your body language. Nigga, you got tense. Your heart rate ran up. They're doing that for decades. Ooh, that shit'll age you. It'll kill you. And especially when you're helpless and you can't do nothing. Damn. I believe in you, Daddy.
What the fuck did you just call me?
You gotta get it out one way or another.
Right? That's how.
Whether through reconciliation, forgiving yourself, or simply moving on. Get a journal, write it all out, make music. You know, however you need to vent these things out, get them out one way or another. Never hold on to shit like that.
How they talk? No? All right.
Ain't nobody talking like that in prison.
I know. I done seen some videos, but
you saw some videos.
Yeah.
What?
I'll say this. I think a lot of people have your reaction, and I probably share that too. But we're all doing it from the outside looking in. It's like when we're watching content and we're seeing the story, like even the brown guy, and everyone's like, he should sue, he should sue. It's like, well, it's very easy for you guys to say that at home. Yeah. You don't have to go through the process of going to court through this whole thing. You don't have the process of having to pay for the lawyers. You don't have the process of like having to deal with the media throughout the whole process. It's super easy to sit at home and say, go do this, or this is how you should feel. But you don't actually have to deal with any of the ramifications, any of the downsides. Actually, when I notice this, people say go sue because it makes themselves feel better. Because they feel like there might be a sense of justice in the world. But a lot of people who've gone through the process of going to court, especially when the outcome is not guaranteed, they don't have happy endings. But you would still feel very comfortable telling them, that's what you should do, go do that. It's like,
yeah,
it's easy from our perspective to say these things. But have you taken the time to put yourself in their shoes and ask them, why don't they want to do it? What are they going to have to go through? Yeah, but yeah, you say that now. But when you actually got to stare at them lawyer bills, when you got to stare at the whole court case, when you got family to take care of and this cloud is not going away because this court case takes years. Again, everything is easy when you got no skin in the game. Everything. Facts. Oh, I'm going to hold on to this anger. That's easy to say. A lot harder to do. And the people who actually have to go through it don't think like that. So think to yourself, why is it that a lot of people don't take things to court? Is it just because they don't have financial access, or is it because, yo, having done a court case myself, I'll tell you that shit is fucking exhausting. You don't actually feel like you win throughout most of it. You look at them bills, you look at how fucking tired you are, and it's not a win. Yeah, but I'm doing it on the principle. Listen, principle is easy to talk about when you got no skin in the game. Yep. I got bills to pay, I got family to take care of, and this shit is making my year fucking miserable. You're never gonna get that time back. So of course he's just happy to be home. I don't already lost so much of my life in this box, or lost it here. I want to be home and I want to move past this thing. That's what a lot of people say. And this is not just for like civil stuff, even for criminal stuff. A lot of people who are victims of crime, a lot of the reasons why they don't want to go and press charges is because they don't want to deal with the ramifications of going through the court system and being a fucking cog in that shit. So, I would just say, when you guys are looking at this stuff from the outside looking in, think about what kind of skin these people have in the game and whether or not they're willing to pay that price. And don't judge them too hard for making a decision you don't agree with.
Now the pair travel the country telling their story, and they have a book coming out in September.
We're two totally different people because of the power of God and the power of Christ. So it's almost like we're telling somebody else's story.
You know why I hate this? That officer just sounds too chippy. You know what I'm saying?
I was kind of thinking that too. Like there's something like he's too happy about it. Like it might it might even just be like a super religious thing, because when I volunteered at a mega church some odd years ago, everyone kind of had that similar vibe, but maybe it just feels extra weird because of the context around the situation.
It took away 4 or 5 years of my life, and you on the stage, yeah, you're like, it's so great. Shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years.
Shut your fucking mouth. All right, I forgave you, but don't be sitting up here, like, even just looking at their body language, it's uncomfortable for me.
He doesn't look,
Look how comfortable he is yapping, and this guy over here is just with his head down. Listen, I'm going to say this. If they needed forgiveness and it's what they needed, listen, I ain't going to judge them. I know what it's like to hit, that's fine. But some of y'all be turning to Christ and then just be doing what you think you're supposed to do sometimes. That's what I think. It's just a little uncomfortable for me. I don't know if that forgiveness is too real. That, I'm not in their person.
It's weird. It's weird, bro. It's fucking weird.
It is. This dynamic is weird.
It's fucking weird. Because the guy is just like, la 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 la.
Yeah.
La la la. You know what?
I hate that video.
The vibe that it gives me is psychopath.
Yeah.
And he's like, he's sick.
Yeah.
And he got caught, and now he's just able to expose what he's doing. And
he was absolved. And the Lord done forgave him for everything. You okay, son? Is that a murder? Not anymore.
That's weird shit. Yeah, he's weird.
Been beating up on old ladies? Not
it's
anymore.
Okay. You're good. You're good. You're good.
And you're supposed to say, man, I'm such a good person. Shut your fucking mouth. But
no, we're supposed to forgive. You're supposed to all let that shit go. All let that shit go. Even though if he's all chippy like that, you're supposed to all let that shit go.
This dude hanging out with this guy, that's a bit too much. Look at it. You do you, bro. You do you. That's a lot for me to handle.
It is.
Yeah, this shit triggered the shit out of you.
Cause he's just all happy about it. Dude is just like,
I don't remember the last time I seen you like this. This is different. You know it's different too. We've been working together for too long for me not to know this.
Yeah.
Girl, this.
What's wrong with
it? All right, that was it for today's video, but not it for everything else. Okay.
Exactly.
Shit, y'all have a good day.
We got a lot more to go. But for real though, I would definitely advocate for forgiveness for your personal, for your soul, for your fucking age. But that shit takes a while. That shit can take a very long time, especially depending on the degree and context of the offense. It could take decades, to work through all of it, either on your own or through therapy or however you want to cope with it. So it's like, don't judge for people just choosing to forgive, and also don't judge how long it takes. Well, forgive them. Forgiveness isn't like that,
Cover this one
for the first time since he was arrested for
Which one's this one? Pranks to lose his life. Oh my God! I read this and I'm like, this dog. Pranksters have been getting hurt too much for this. Like, I remember like a year or two ago, some dude was fucking with somebody in the mall. It's just a prank though. He just slides a pistol from his fucking pocket and pops him in his fucking lower half. It's like, oh shit, people gotta stop fucking with people. Like, I'm surprised Jack Doty hasn't caught a fucking bullet yet. To be completely fucking honest with you.
All right, I want to cover this one.
For the first time since he was arrested for second-degree murder, malicious wounding, and firearms charges, Tyler Chase Butler faced a judge this morning. The 27-year-old is ordered to stay in jail without bond after he was accused of shooting and killing 18-year-old Massaponack High senior Michael Bosworth. The sheriff's office says Butler fired shots at Bosworth and 2 other teenagers because he thought they were breaking into his house along Mackenzie Lane in Fredericksburg. It happened around 3 a.m. Saturday. Here's neighbor Maria Sedlak.
I just woke up and all the house was flashing with blue lights.
I never understand why they do these interviews if it's so useless. They ask the neighbor, like, oh, what do you know? It's like, I woke up and there was flashing lights. Yeah, it's a murder investigation, bitch. I know you're going to see cops.
They're just gonna add a little bit something for razzle dazzle. You know what razzle dazzle is?
Well, shit, razzle or
Reveal
dazzle.
a much different story. They say the 2 other teens who survived claimed they were playing the Ding Dong Ditch Challenge. It's a TikTok prank where kids try to kick a stranger's front door and
First of all, this shit's way older than TikTok. First of all. Secondly, you don't kick on a ding dong ditch. You press the doorbell. That's what a ding dong is. You fucking.
and run away.
That's not what ding dong ditch is.
Thank you.
Ding dong ditch is like as you say in the title. You ding dong and you ditch. Kicking the door in.
Stop. We have to talk about.
Exactly. What the fuck? Like, at first I thought it was like the news anchor just being stupid, but no, that's actually, no, for real.
And you
ditch. In the name.
Kicking the door in.
Stop. We have to talk about something. Did y'all just rebrand Nikki 9 Door?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Nikki 9 Door thing.
Nikki, I've never in my life heard that. It's always been ding dong dish for me. I never heard anything else.
Did y'all just rebrand Nikki 9 Door?
Yes.
Is that what happened?
Nikki 9 Door thing is really depends of where you are. Some people call it Nikki 9 Door.
Okay.
Some people call it Ding Dong Ditch. Depending of where you are, you have different names. So it was Ding Dong
Knock
Ditch.
Ginger is
but
crazy.
You ding dong.
Okay.
That is absolutely ridiculous. In the UK, it's just knock ginger. It doesn't even flow well. Ding dong ditch is at least like alliteratively like rhyming and shit. Nikki 9 Door. That's it. Also has it knock ginger. What the fuck is up with UK people, dog?
You have different names. So it was Ding Dong Ditch. But
color
you ding
looking
dong.
asses.
Okay. I'm
and
ignorant.
you ditched.
My apologies.
And you ditched.
According to the detective, he and his friends had hit a couple of doors in the neighborhood. The juvenile is not familiar with the neighborhood that they were in. The juvenile said as they were running from a residence, he and his friends were shot at.
Did they kick on your door, do you know?
Not on ours.
But you know down
other
here.
neighbors, yes.
The case has sparked a big debate in the Spotsylvania community.
I just feel like it was very unfortunate all the way around. I feel sorry for the parents, but I also feel sorry for my neighbors. If someone came, kicking on my door, like front door, back door, wherever door, we will have been protecting our house too.
Exactly.
Bosworth's family didn't want to go on camera, but his stepfather tells WSA 9 he was a kid who loved to play lacrosse. He was getting ready to graduate with aspirations of joining the U.S. Marine Corps.
Butler now has a preliminary hearing scheduled in June. He was assigned a public defender this morning. Meantime, friends of Michael Bosworth held a vigil for him last night with the message, justice for Mikey.
Did they mention what time this happened at?
Good.
3 a.m.
No.
3
It happened
a.m.
around 3 a.m. Saturday. Here's neighbor Maria said.
No.
No.
Nah, yeah, free him. 3 in the morning.
Free him.
No.
It's 3 in the morning. You're not even ding dong dishing. You're caving in people's door. What's up?
Okay. You guys said free him, or the people who were saying a vigil, justice for him. He already got his justice. You fucking dumbass.
3 in the morning.
You're a fucking dumbass. No. This is not a prank. It is not a prank to run up to people, brandish a knife, terrorize them, and run off for TikTok. That's not a prank. That's a crime. Okay? You guys went in this neighborhood and you terrorized people in the middle of the night. Now, a lot of you guys watching it from different parts of the world. Maybe crime levels where you're at are reasonable. In North America, where a lot of these break-ins happen and people are held at gunpoint, this is not something you play with, right? The same way I wouldn't go to Israel, start brandishing...
Ever since I fucking... I'm not going to freeze you on that. Or that.
Insignias.
Ever since... I've been doing canvassing this past summer. I've been to a lot of places outside of Charlotte, like the places around Charlotte, like kind of more in the countryside with the sticks. And there are a good few neighborhoods where people will just leave their fucking front door open. Maybe not the screen, but sometimes also the screen in broad daylight. And sometimes I'm sitting there like, why the fuck would you just leave your door open like that? I'm from fucking Philly area, bro. You don't do that. I can't even imagine doing that. Like how safe is the area for you guys to really do that shit?
Something you play with, right? The same way I wouldn't go to Israel, start brandishing certain insignias and talk about death to some people. Different contexts, different cultures are going to have different sensibilities. North America, unfortunately, is just a place where a lot of this crime is commonplace. And especially in certain places, you see it on the news every day. This person was broken into, and people, like, I know so many people in my own life who've had their cars breaking into, who've had their homes breaking into, and what they'll tell you is it's scarred.
My fucking door. In daylight and in the middle of the night. The same house got fucking ran up in. It might have been the same year as well. Like, I don't know how niggas just leave their fucking doors open.
It scarred them because you no longer feel safe in a lot of aspects, especially when it's your home. If you got kids and shit, that'll change you completely. I know people who've literally sold houses.
You got your shoes off
because they couldn't handle what had happened to them. So these kids playing this prank, that's fucked up. Even if you don't get shot, it's so fucked up what they're doing in the middle of the night. Because think about the terror that they're living with, not knowing what had happened. If they don't know it's a prank, they might think somebody's trying to break in. You might be affecting them permanently from that point on. So no, this is not a prank. The kid got shot. I don't give a fuck. Do I feel bad? No. Do I feel good about it? No, either.
Yeah, I didn't feel bad about that guy who got shot in the mall either. I'm like, well, shouldn't have fucked it. You fucked on, you found out. Right? Is it tragic? Yeah. Am I gonna like worry about it? No. You should like, how many times do people need to get hurt before people stop doing stupid shit?
Because it's not good that some kids died and people were traumatized. But I told y'all this before. A lot of people are gonna have to die for something to happen about these stupid pranks.
And lame.
And when they do, I will not feel bad at all. Why? Because I think it's gonna serve as a lesson for other people. And all you people f***ing around with people in their day-to-day lives, when it happens to you, you ain't never gonna see me feel bad.
It's like Darwinism.
Not a chance. 3 a.m, crack of dawning, and I'm yawning.
I got questions.
My dad and my granddad would tell this story from time to time over the years about how after my dad moved out to college, he came back home one day in the middle of the night and he got in, but he didn't tell my granddad that he was coming home. So my granddad was a cop, a detective at the time, so he had a gun, right? And he shot right past my dad's head because he didn't say he was coming home. It was fucking crazy.
God, I just want to do a couple rounds.
I got questions.
Because I got this vest on. Look at my bad boy on.
Stop it.
Can I ask my questions?
Since you're so serious and shit.
If you haven't graduated for high school yet, what the fuck are you doing outside at 3 a.m.?
Good question.
What the fuck are you doing outside at 3 a.m.?
Yep.
Before you get shot.
I'm stupid.
3 a.m., you haven't graduated high school.
What a good question.
You're gallivanting in a neighborhood you don't know.
Yeah.
What a good question.
Kicking people's door in.
Facts.
I got questions.
Was it a weekday?
I got questions.
If it's a weekday, that's wild.
I got questions.
Is school out?
No. For summer? No. Not yet. Even on a weekend. It's 3 in the morning. What are you doing? Upage Kai?
That's a good question, bro. You got any more good questions? I should have thought of that.
Yeah, but you were too busy being mad. So, but I understand why you're mad.
True. Okay. What are the good questions you got?
Where are your parents at? Have you been to Virginia?
I've been to the DMV a few times.
There's some places that,
I don't even think that really matters. Because people even in rural areas sometimes have their places broken into. Depending on where you're at, what suburbs, is a thing. Listen, people own guns for a reason.
I got a question.
People own guns for a reason.
Question. What is the gun laws in Virginia?
You can own.
Open carry is legal in Virginia in most places with without a blank possessing firearms. Concealed carry requires a few exceptions. Oh, without a... Okay, that's cool. I want to get a concealed carry soon.
Because that would have been to me
or open carry.
The problem there.
He's not being charged for that.
But you're not being charged for that.
Yeah. I will
you're
say,
ding dong ditching, and it's not even including a ding dong. You're caving people's door in.
It's not.
And you're appalled at the fact that you got shot at and died.
yeah. Not only are they terrorizing people, but they're also profiting from it.
Yeah.
Get fucked. You should never be allowed to make.
Oh my God! I remember even like around 2020 time, there was a huge story about like this group of young teenagers. I think it was in the UK actually, where they just walked up into somebody's house filming and saying it's their house and shit. Like, what are you talking about? I'm surprised they didn't get shot.
Money that way, in my opinion. You cannot take away people's safety or sense of safety and then think you can just walk off with that and make as much money as you want.
Yeah.
Get fucked.
To all the friends of that guy, well, welcome to the real world whenever you do something, there's consequences.
Right.
You guys are no longer cute no more. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You was a kid, that was cute, but you're no longer that. You're welcome to adulthood. Whenever you're gonna do something, there's gonna be repercussion and there's gonna be things that are gonna happen. Okay? You cannot cave someone's door in at 3 a.m, not expect some fuck shit to happen.
He is a lacrosse player, though.
It's a hard
From
kick.
what I understand, those people are immune to consequences.
Oh.
How? Explain yourself.
Essentially, from what I understand, the moment you play lacrosse, life's just easier.
I don't know what the fuck you mean. by that.
Anyways, yeah, I don't care either. I don't really feel no type of way. I don't have sympathy for that. You fucked up in a big time. It's unfortunate that your parents have to go through the grief of you being gone for such a dumb shit.
Here's the real injustice. Some man sitting in jail. That's a real injustice.
But
it is
really,
crazy to me. And that his only mistake was shooting a white person. I think. That's what I think. I'm going to say it. I said it. I think with all the stand your ground shit that I've seen, all the self-defense cases I've seen in the States, the fact that this man's sitting in jail and here's like the only circumstance I could ever see where you maybe make me feel like maybe he's supposed to stay in jail. If he popped open the door, saw them running and started shooting, maybe.
Yeah,
but
that's
from what
different.
I understand, he shot them through the door, which means that they were banging on the door. He heard them and he started shooting, not knowing that maybe he got their back. But listen, I'll wait to hear more details. But this makes me think of that prankster that got shot up in the mall.
Hey,
and then
I
when
said
I saw
that.
what happened, I'm like, yeah,
That was
I don't
2
give a
years
shit.
ago.
This is very similar. I think a lot of you need to do some finding out. Absolutely, get shot.
If the guy that shot Trayvon Martin is out,
George Zimmerman.
Yeah, get that other person out.
It's also important to note different states, different laws. So that is a factor. But again, to me, this looks like textbook self-defense, and I'm cool with it. So I'd be curious to see how
That's textbook self-defense for sure.
More pranksters need to go permanently. Oh, but this is a kid. Yeah, well, kids shouldn't do really stupid fucking adult things. It is not a kid thing to do to kick in random people's door. He did it in a neighborhood he don't fucking know either.
I had a fit.
Get the fuck out of here.
I was at a party at some point and some kid was playing with a toy gun, and I had a fit because that kid was brandishing the gun and pointing at me and clicking it, and I was like, "Yo, no, I don't know what the hell you think it is, but this not it, boy. This not him, my boy."
What kind of toy?
I did something very similar. Very, very similar. I had a rifle, a BB rifle, in the middle of a fucking suburban neighborhood. And there's a car driving by, and I was tracking the car with the BB gun. I wasn't going to shoot it. I was just tracking it. But still, whoever that was called the police. And the police told me I couldn't do that.
Toy gun we talking?
The tip was not out.
Oh, so you couldn't tell?
No,
the orange
one. Okay, you couldn't tell.
Now I understand.
It was
I thought you were looking at like a Nerf gun or some shit. I'm like, nigga, you do too much. My bad. You're right.
You couldn't tell. I was like, yo, don't. I didn't crash out, but I was like, yo, what are you doing?
Okay.
Don't do stuff like that. And I was calling the kid, and the parents were there. Was like, what happened? Yeah, but it's just a toy. It's just the parents were like, it's just a toy. It's just like, nah.
Teach them good habits.
No, do good habits. You don't point. It's not a game for everybody. You know what people went through. You don't know. You don't want, and you can't tell it's a gun. I'm the one. You're just consider yourself lucky that it's not a policeman patrolling the hood that feels some type of way. Don't know who or what.
What I just say?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Okay.
Kind of what I said.
And then now you're gonna do that? No, please, no, stop.
And people, I think, preach is overreacting. Look at this.
It's a shocking standoff between deputies and two brothers armed with a loaded gun.
Put it down for me, okay?
Oh, yes!
Wow.
Yo! Get that shit off my face, bro! I saw
Let it play. Let it play. Let it play. Let it play.
Just go ahead and drop that.
Put it down, babe. Go ahead and put it down for me, okay?
You're not in trouble, but you have to drop that and come talk to us, all right?
See if there's a magazine inside the magazine well.
Put it down, baby.
They're playing with the gun back and forth. The one in the blue is trying to take it from the one in the orange.
Put it down, baby.
Just drop it, buddy.
Put it down, babe. You're okay. Put it down.
And now the kid in the blue and green has a firearm.
Boy, you didn't put that trigger discipline.
Fuck, I don't want to do that. Just wait. Let's try to keep talking with them. Hit the wall. I want you to hit the wall. Hey, put that. Just keep it down.
Sean.
I want you to hit the wall. Hit the fence.
It's gonna hit the wall.
Come on, Sean. Let's listen, okay, babe? We don't want to hurt you, honey.
Sean, this isn't a game no more. We're not playing a game right now. This is serious. 40 going out. 40, 40, 40.
Dog, he's posting.
Drop it! Drop it! Drop it, Sean! Load another one. Load another one. Drop it now! You're gonna get hit! Drop it!
You dropped the gun!
Drop it, both of you.
I don't even have the gun. I don't have the gun.
Get over here.
The 9-year-old responds by raising the gun and taking aim at the deputies. Officers say he actually pulled the trigger, but thank goodness the gun malfunctioned.
This could have turned out in the worst nightmare for the whole nation. For those
Dog, when the fuck was this? This was just back in February. That's crazy. Badass kid. Like, they're not even bad kids. That's a dumb kid. That's not a bad kid. Because a bad kid would have been waving it the whole time. That kid just had a gun and just didn't want to let it go. It's just a stupid kid who thought it was a toy because it was white and black. It looked like a Nerf gun. It looked like an airsoft gun. But even the way the kid responded, I don't have a gun. I don't have a gun. That's not a bad kid. That's a stupid kid. They're both stupid
deputies
kids.
they're still reeling and having to deal with this that they might have had.
No. Tyree! What's going on, bro?
Deadly force in a 7 and a 9-year-old.
And there's so many parents I've seen have unsecured firearms with their kids. You actually hear stories about kids who go into their mom's purse, grab the gun, and then go to school with it and play around, and then they get confiscated. God forbid they shot somebody, and that's also happened too. So,
what's up? We got a lot of shit to cover today. We watched a lot of Admin Preach tonight, and we're gonna catch up on all those fucking diss tracks that I missed over the past couple of days. There's at least like 4 of them that I have loaded up, and I think also a discussion with Jay Black at the end.
There's plenty of people who are irresponsible with gun ownership.
It's a lot, but I'm here
so
for it.
I understand what you're saying.
I'm awake.
In that regards.
I've got questions.
And apparently I get new shit for TikTok, so here we go.
7-year-old pointing the gun at the. I don't even know how to collect myself to ask those questions. But you probably have the same questions as me, so I'll digress. I'll just keep on going.
Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to do this video about this prankster. You know what I mean? We're going to keep covering these people. Every time they pass, we're going to talk about it. We're going to spread some information because all these stupid fucking TikTok trends need to end in the way that they're happening. There's probably some safe ways to do this. If you want to do this prank, maybe do it during the day. Don't kick in people's door at any time. But we need to get to a point now where if people are
I'll show you the list in a second.
And their crimes, we need to pass legislation. There has to be some change to it.
There has to be something.
I truly believe. I think social media companies need to be held accountable because their algorithms are promoting this stuff. It should be illegal for them to do that.
And you're paying people to do that.
Especially for TikTok, which is geared to young people and very influential on them. It should be a mandatory thing where they don't allow this stuff to spread.
Yo, so you got killed over a trend. Like you're giving incentive for people to do those fuck shit things. So yes, they should definitely be held accountable for that. Ugh.
Absolutely. And that little video made me kind of want to watch police shit. I'm not gonna hold you. Sometimes watching body cam footage can be really entertaining, but also can be really, really long. You know, I need like a highlight reel. What we got? Diddy still did like a supervillain. Kid Cudi, wild testimony from week 2. This was yesterday. Dope. Oh wait, I didn't show you the list. Fuck. We have this one, and this one, and this one, and this one. Am I missing anything? And this one. But this isn't a track. This is a discussion, I think. Or a question.
Are you getting your baby oil ready? Okay, I got excited.
Nigga, wait, what?
You got excited over baby.
That refresh was goddamn beautiful.
Okay, I got excited.
You got excited over baby oil?
Bro.
Jay hit on where? On the last one?
You know what I think? You want to know how much has changed? You ready? Hey, Daddy, you ready? I take your silence as consent.
Don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if you see one day that Abba blows up my car because I'm dating his girl. You want to say some wild shit? I'm gonna say some wild shit too.
Oh my God! Speaking of that Grinch ass smile, no, but thinking of a couple. Shit. Yeah, remind me when I get to the when I pull the thing up again. I accidentally heard "Official Girl" by Cassie and Lil Wayne today, and listening to that song now, in the context of everything, is kind of fucking insane. It really, really is.
Okay, so look at what's arriving today. Ooh, the way that dripped down, Daddy, that was crazy.
Yo, stop talking like yo.
You ordered Johnson & Johnson baby oil.
Arriving today, 2 bottles on special. The Diddler discount.
Crazy about you. The Diddler special.
You gonna lace it with what?
Nothing. I just want to make sure I'm listening when I gotta act.
For Diddy?
Just saying. My body's ready. Now, with that in mind, Kid Cudi just testified today, and today's testimony was insane. Now, a lot of folks have been keeping up with the trial, but I'm going to keep you apprised of some of the notes that I took that I thought were interesting. Kid Cudi, if you don't remember, the man who made Memories with David Guetta, very popular back in the early 2010s, comes in to testify because at the time, back in the early 2010s, he'd met Cassie. Diddy apparently had sent Cassie to go do recording artists related work with Cudi, and I guess they started dating through that. She confided in Cudi that Diddy would beat her regularly. They kind of started dating. Diddy found out. Diddy not happy with Cudi. Oh my God, all these names are starting.
Yeah.
Diddy Cudi Cassie.
Yeah, Diddy Cudi Cassie. And then Diddy beat Cassie. So Cudi felt some type of way about Diddy behavior. Okay, anyways. So Diddy finds out about Cudi and her, and gets upset. He starts losing his mind. He starts making threats. They start to get a little bit worried. And then at one point, while Cudi is comforting Cassie after she's been beaten, essentially he gets a call from one of Diddy's employees saying, hey, and the individual, he's almost at the point of tears. He's like, I'm in front of your house. I'm with some of Diddy's people. At this point, Cudi's like, what the fuck are y'all doing in front of my house? So Cudi returns home and then realizes that these guys who worked for Diddy had gone through his place. They had apparently opened some packages that belonged to him. They had moved some furniture stuff, and they had locked his dog inside the bathroom.
Wow.
So Cudi's like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with these people? And Diddy's like, yo, we have to talk. They have a conversation. It's a bit contentious, and from what I understand, they kind of go their separate ways, but Cudi decides he's going to keep seeing Cassie. I'm going to go backwards a little bit. There's a testimony that happened either from Cassie or her mom where she testified that Diddy had threatened to do something to her and Cudi, but they would never find out it's him because apparently he would say he's out of the...
These threats that have been made towards me by Sean Puffy Combs are that they are going to be released 2 explicit sex tapes of me on Christmas Day. Maybe before or right or after another one sometime soon after that. He also said that he will be having someone hurt me and Scott physically. He made a point that it wouldn't be by his hands. He actually said that he would be out of the country when it happened. Sent from my iPhone. That's fucking crazy. 23rd. Wow. 2011. Capricorn.
country while it was happening. Fast forward to this incident. One day, Cudi gets a call from his gardener while he's out, and he's like, yo, your car's on fire. And Cudi's like, what the fuck? He gets home. Apparently somebody has cut open the top of his porch and threw in a Molotov cocktail. Cudi calls Diddy. They're like, yo, we have to talk. They kind of have this conversation, and this is one of the funniest fucking lines I've ever seen. He walks into this room where Diddy's supposed to be, right? The security guards in front, and this is what Cudi said. This is the quote. This quote is wild. Sean Combs was standing there staring out the window with his hands behind his back like a Marvel supervillain.
Oh, you've arrived. You must want to know why I asked you here.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
You're about to get it.
Okay, let's
rub some semen in my nipples.
let's role play this. You're gonna be Diddy, and I'm gonna go put on a dress and be Cuddy. Ready?
You offered to put the dress on?
Moving past that point.
God damn.
All right, Cuddy been dressing weird.
He said no pause.
They have a conversation, and basically Diddy's like, listen, I don't know what you're talking about in regards to the car. It is what it is. They kind of go their separate ways. Shortly afterwards, Cassie decides to return to Diddy and start dating him. Obviously, Cuddy feels a little bit betrayed. They go their separate ways. Years later,
they cross each other.
They cross each other, that being Diddy
2015.
and Cuddy. As they're having a conversation, he's like, yo, man, listen, I'm super sorry for what happened back there. And they squash their beef. But Cuddy said, listen, I was terrified of Diddy because he was incredibly violent. So once again, a lot of people all corroborating the same thing, that Diddy Diddy
Dog, what are you on today?
He was incredibly violent. He was intimidating, and this is going towards the arson count. Now, in my opinion, they don't actually prove that Diddy engaged in the arson, but that's not necessarily the point. I think when they're trying to give an overview of who this man is, and arson is one of the key factors in proving racketeering.
You said we're not going to get them on arson.
Right. But... Actually, editor, include that in this clip, because I said when you look at what it takes to get him on racketeering, out of the 6 or 7 things, he pretty much hits almost all of them except for arson.
Yo, the only thing they're not going to get them on is probably arson. And then boom, bitch.
Right, because you have to remember, in order for them to prove RICO, they only need to hit 2 predicate acts.
Right.
And one on the list of potential predicate acts was arson. I'm like, yo, he hits almost all of them except for arson.
Boom, bitch.
That's what the car did. And I want y'all to think, imagine the psyche of people involved who are dealing with an insane person who is a billionaire, who is capable of blowing up their cars while he's out of the country and face 0 repercussions. You have to also remember, they made police reports at that time, so this is not like this is new. All of this paints this picture of a man who is controlling, incredibly powerful, free of consequences, and you can't run away from him.
Dog, every time we bring him what shit that Diddy do about like and things he can get away with. Dude was really like gonna like strap up and roll on fucking Suge Knight because he was right down the street. Like when the way Cassie fucking said that in her testimony is goddamn ridiculous. She said it like it was like a random Tuesday.
So Cassie tried to leave him, and this motherfucker blew up the car of the man she was with.
Can I add something?
So when this plays to the control aspect of like whether or not Cassie could leave, why didn't she leave? This is another thing that they're going to use to make that case. Go ahead.
I see some people saying like some things like, yeah, but if everybody knew, because a lot of people knew, I was right here in Canada minding my business and I knew about some of this stuff. Imagine. Had no connection with them whatsoever at that time. So, man, imagine you hear some stuff about Diddler and you want to say something, and he is that powerful. So you come out the woodwork and you say, hey, man, I heard you did it, and you call him out. And you do all this rah-rah stuff, and you call him out, and you say, he did this, he did that, and all the victims are so scared, they do not want to talk.
Yep.
Now you're defaming. You can't talk for a victim. If you do not have a victim, it's just talk. It's just you saying a whole bunch of shit. You don't have proof of nothing, and guess what's going to happen to you? You're eventually going to become a victim too. So everybody shut up on that. That's the power that he had. He really did.
Yeah, and in those times, a lot of things were much more insulated. Internet wasn't what it is today. People recording everything isn't like what it is today. So now, especially even the climate, that's before Me Too.
He's definitely a product of the old days as well.
You coming forth with an allegation at that time did not hold the same merit as it does today.
It did.
Right? Diddy changed a lot of his behavior after 2015 when he saw Harvey Weinstein and a lot of other people start to get convicted for what they was doing. Right? That's when you started seeing a lot of people who were powerful start to get a little bit worried because they're like, whoa, if they took out Harvey and they started cleaning up their shit.
Harvey was big.
Yes. So other testimonies from today, because I think today's actually one of the most explosive things. The makeup artist, okay? Mila Morales said she had a friend who's a doctor come to the house to check Cassie Ventura out after she saw Ventura with injuries. The doctor examined the injuries onto Cassie's face, her stomach, and her ribs and recommended Ventura go to the emergency room. Ventura refused to go to the emergency room, Morales testified, and they didn't call the police. Morales said that she didn't call the police because she feared Corms and she feared for her life. So, this is again adding yet another witness who witnessed a lot of the intimidation, the control, the coercion aspect, and this is going to go to the trafficking aspect. You don't have to believe Cassie, but who are all these 10 other people who all worked for Diddy, who feared for their lives and witnessed him be violent and controlling and threatening? That's going to play. So when they say, why didn't Cassie run away? Why didn't the other 15 people run away? Why did they call the police? Because everybody feared this man and they all had reasons. That's the case.
You know how hard it is to have all these people corroborating with the same story?
You know, the thing about that just popped in my head? Diddy is a feared individual and has been for a very long time. But you know who doesn't seem to be scared of anybody? It's 50 Cent. 50 Cent talks shit about Diddy all the time. Like he just had that fucking free Diddy shirt he wore for like $20. Right? He's a fucking he clowns Diddy all the time. He posted that picture of that Diddy trying to have him come over and shit. Like why isn't 50 Cent scared? Well, because he got shot 9 times. But like why isn't you see what I'm saying though? It's like does it only work if you let it work? 50 Cent's not letting it work, right? He never lets anyone get to him. You know what I'm saying? He just does what the fuck he wants to do. It's interesting.
Everybody's saying the same shit. Mm-hmm. If you're at that level of an attorney, it's easy to find like a weakness here, a weakness there. They can't. I'm telling you.
You saying that he yeah from the whole get rich or die trying, like when he got shot 9 times. Are you saying, or well, would you think that is like Diddy related, so that like, oh, I couldn't get him once, so like now I have this, now 50 Cent's just never gonna be scared of him ever again? Because I could totally see that.
Diddy's defense know they're losing this. They know. 100%.
Because their client is so detestable and so evil, and it's not even being contested. One of the craziest testimonies that happened this week was from Cassie Ventura's mother. And the reason why I say that is she gets on the stand and she basically makes Diddy look like the worst person. Because people are going to say, well, Cassie Ventura is just a money-hungry artist or whatever. But her mother was a completely different story. Her mother actually attacked Diddy when he was going after Cassie. She talks about how she punched him and did all this other stuff. So there's a human element of a mother just seeing their kid being abused by somebody and her trying to take actions. Also, when Cassie finally years later went to her mother and said, listen, I'm being hurt by Diddy, her mother took pictures with her Polaroid of those injuries, so you can see these huge bruises all over her body, and that she documented. At one point, because of how angry Diddy was about the Cudi relationship, the mother was kind of involved in a second of it, and basically Diddy does this really weird thing where he's like, you need to give me $20,000 for some of the money I invested in for them to work together. So the mom ends up taking out a loan, fearing for her daughter's life. Why? Because her daughter tells her, I think he might take my life, Mom. He's threatened to put out videos of me on Christmas of me doing prom. And 2011, 2010 was a time where if you had an X tape that came out about you, it was incredibly damaging to your career.
Yeah.
Before Kim Kardashian came on the scene and kind of flipped the script, nobody wanted anything intimate of them on the internet.
As a matter of fact, when the thing with Kim K happened, it first,
yes,
it was damaging.
Yeah.
Yes.
She
flipped
and Paris Hilton.
Yes, she was able to flip it.
Yes.
But at first it was damaging.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Don't think that it was like skyrocket from the time that that came out. No, there was a dip, and then it was about to flip it. They were able to flip it.
And yet people do think that way, and that's why there's so many OnlyFans models now. They think it's just instant success.
All in all these testimonies, they corroborate, right? They have her taking out the loan. Oh, yeah. They have her sending the money to Diddy. And you know what Diddy does? A couple days later, he returns the money. So it's just like, why but it's a control.
Yeah,
it's a power move.
It's a power thing. It's not. It has
he didn't need the money.
Why would Diddy do it if he has so much money?
Exactly, he didn't need it.
To do with the money. It's, yo, you my bitch now. You're gonna do everything that I tell you to do. So give me $20,000 right now. And I know you don't have it. Oh, you're gonna just use scrambling to having that money and be like, here, here's your $20,000. Like
It's mob stuff. Mob tactics, bro.
I won. You did what I told you to do, and then of course you're gonna return the money after, because the point was not to have the money. The wonderful thing about it was the journey to get it.
Yeah,
that's what the psyche is of those people.
Yeah. So basically, they have this mother who's terrified. She's terrorized by Diddy. She tried attacking him. They basically had all these different incidents that they're now corroborating. One of Cassie's friends was also attacked by Diddy. He put his hands on her. She had also witnessed Cassie in Jamaica get dragged by her hair halfway across the whole spot when she didn't do what Diddy told her to do. All of these witnesses are all helping to paint the trafficking situation. Now, what I thought was the most damning for the defense is, as the mother said everything about this case, and it really was, I think, one of the more powerful testimonies, the defense, like, we don't want to question her. Not offering any kind of counter push to what she's saying in the defense, that the allegations that she's bringing forth. Because at the end of the day, she's just speaking on facts. I took out a loan. I gave it to Diddy. He asked it for this reason. You can't contest that. Why? Because there's bank records. They know it happened. So these are all things that are helping for me to paint this picture of this man. And I personally, again, don't see how he gets off on a good majority of these charges.
Yeah.
But I thought today's testimony was crazy. He blew up the motherfucker's car, and he really did move like a supervillain. So all those sketches about him, all those memes, all them jokes, they were all baked in a lot of truth.
The Dave Chappelle's kit of making the band is so much more accurate now, and you have to go watch it.
How y'all gonna choke a legend? You don't think I want to choke people?
Oh
I was really looking forward to this trial because the kid.
Oh my god, we have to watch that after this. We have
Cuddy
to.
explosion
We
thing
have to.
has always been folklore, and it's always been a thing about Diddy did it, but we never heard
not even
the
that
actual
long. It's
story
like a
from anyone
5-minute
involved
thing.
until today. And the reason why they never told it was because they were afraid for their lives.
Of course.
That's it. The assistant who works for him, who testified today, did so under an immunity deal. He didn't want to testify. So he wanted to basically plead the fifth, which is like, I don't want to incriminate myself. So what they did is they offered him immunity, so he couldn't say he can't plead the fifth if you have immunity, right? Because you can't incriminate yourself. And he had to tell the truth. So he tells the truth, and he's like, he talks about how he witnessed Diddy beat Cassie on a jet plane, and how the security and the staff were all there. Nobody did nothing. Nobody moved.
That cross of George Kaplan, that's getting underway, Julie. And what they're talking about there is he was just so excited to start working for Sean Combs. And so he would start to see all of these things take place. He was on direct describing an incident on a private plane between Sean and Cassie, in which he described Sean as holding up like a rocks glass.
Is all of that hair?
And, heard Cassie then say, isn't someone seeing this, talking about a beating that was taking place right there in the moment.
So they all watched this stuff unfold and did absolutely nothing about it. What's more, Diddy would give him bags of money, and this guy would have to go, not just to hold, to go buy things he needed. Some of it was in cash, which I think is interesting. For anything that was illicit or potentially illegal, cash. Everything else was done through the Diddy enterprise. So this is going to be where the RICO's involved. Why? Because he would use the funds to buy supplies to cover up the crimes. So things for wounds and stuff like that that he had to buy for Cassie, so she wouldn't be like, look wounded when she left the house, this guy would go and buy for her. So that's where the enterprise comes in place. He used his organization to enable his behavior is essentially what they're going to get at. Yeah, and I think him just testifying to his reasons for leaving, he left because he said, it didn't sit right with me what I was witnessing.
Now, George eventually left because he said he was tired of hiding the domestic violence from everyone.
So even this assistant was also coming out and saying, like, I witnessed, and it was evil. But he also spoke highly of Diddy. He said he was a great boss in other ways. He opened up doors for me, and I still respect how much of a mogul he is. But yeah, it was an interesting testimony hearing all these people who worked for him so long have conflicting
here's the
feelings
truth,
about
but
all
please
the
don't kill
crimes they
me.
witnessed and how they all kept quiet about it.
Because nobody wasn't gonna say something. So if you're alone talking, you're gonna get all the rap. You're gonna get all the bullshit. I work. Something like that happened to me a couple of times where we were pissed off at management and talking about management. So yeah, this has to change. This has to change. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Yeah,
Everybody.
Yeah. And a meeting comes, and then I put up my hand and I'm like, yeah, we think that this and that and that and that, right? Yeah, who else thinks that? Crickets.
Right.
Complaining, and then boom.
Right.
And I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know. And after that, you're like, yo, you motherfuckers were talking mad shit. Now you didn't say shit now. And then you're left alone dealing with the consequences. And that's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah, you can't be alone talking.
Yeah. And I also want you guys to know, let's say I grant you guys everything and he does not get charged with the RICO, the trafficking, the Mann Act, which again, I think a lot of these are slam dunks, but let's say I agree with you. They're still going to take him to court for all the violence he committed on her over the years.
They're going to take him down, no matter what.
They'll do that, or they'll go for the gun stuff. They always have more stuff that they can do. Now, generally speaking, anything with your wife on a repeated basis over a long period of time, that's going to go to a different court. But it's still something that they can charge him with across different places. There's also state crimes that he committed in different places. Everyone's just letting the feds have their turn. But if that don't work out, a lot of the states are like, you're coming in.
Yeah.
They about to run a train on.
That's crazy.
The law is running a train on Diddy.
Everybody's having a turn.
So, I just wanted to kind of recap some of the stuff I saw from this week that I thought was wild. And again, I think from all the testimony I've seen, it's I don't think the defense is doing much for me to make these witnesses seem incredible. But even the minor things that he does poke holes into in terms of a defense attorney, it don't really matter because there's so many different people all testifying to the same thing. And as a reasonable person, no one's going to look like all these people are lying about all the elements.
I think they're threatening lightly because if they even step or question people, it might open a whole other can of worm that they don't want. That's why they didn't test that. They didn't bring the mother. We don't even want to talk to her.
I mean, it looks horrible to go against what she's saying.
We don't even want to go. Now our whole team looks bad. So I don't even want to go against her. It's just going to open a whole can of worms that we're not going to deal with. So they know.
I think that the mother was brought in to humanize Cassie. Because a lot of people still see Cassie as like a money-hungry entertainer.
Yeah.
And because they see her as a money-hungry entertainer, now when the mother comes in, you hear about her fighting with Diddy for the safety of her daughter. Now she becomes somebody's kid. And what it plays into the mind of a lot of jurors is like, what if somebody was doing that to my child? You know, do I want this man back on the streets? And so I think that's the emotional aspect that the prosecution.
This case is not a slam dunk. It's a slam dunk with the balls in your face. You know when they slam dunk and the two legs are right here, and you got the jaw, it's God damn, and you're like this on the.
I was gonna say like a rim breaker
the reel in the news,
or backboard
you're really
breaker.
at a 45-degree angle, balls almost in your mouth, and a slam dunk. That's what it is.
But why don't you give me a supervillain exit for this video?
Well, you know what, people.
No, towards the video.
No, my back is turned. Okay. I'm a super villain.
But towards the audience.
Well, no. You don't understand super villains, bro.
My bad.
Let me do my thing.
Okay, I'm sorry.
All right. Well.
Shit.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. We will see you next time. Shut up, Cassie! Where?
Oh my God!
Hey, yo, why'd you blow up my car?
What car?
Is it because I didn't want to lend you my dresses? Because we couldn't make memories together?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Nigga, I know what you do in your bedroom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
What the fuck is going on?